Hey, 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 way to go, Bonnie. I want to let you all know, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, and my day was just made just a minute ago to let me know that Wind Talkers Radio Network has rated our show amongst the individual shows that are individually broadcast independently by radio broadcasters. We're now up to 23 phone bridges today around the world. We have no idea how many listeners are on all the phone bridges, but 3 phone bridges have been activated in not in London, but in Europe and Ireland over the overflow of over 500 calls on each one of those lines. And Doug tells me he's going to have to buy 2 more service lines. So with that said, to all my Marines around the world, Semper Fi, we're making a difference out there. I've just got the word in that the ratings on Blog Talk are skyrocketing on Thursdays, and yesterday's show with Dr. A. True Ott for a Marines Disquisition. It's just it's astronomical that we're making a difference out there. With that said, here's the man that knows the truth, the man that I respect, and that I know a number of you guys in the Corps have taken your enlistment bonuses and invested in silver and gold at particular times because you were reading the international forecaster that I gave to you guys, and you asked me advice, and I told you to call him. Whether you called him or not, I don't know, but I do know that you invested the money, and I know that you're happy with the double and triple investment that you made. Mr. Chapman, welcome to my show.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. It's been 4 years now.
Yes, sir.
Finally the world's
4
paying
years
attention.
and 5 weeks. 4 years and 5 weeks.
Thank you for all the kind words. But it's all individual initiative and absolutely refusing to give up. And
Amen.
That's what it's all about.
Amen.
And it's been as ebullient for me as for you. I think a couple of weeks ago, the crowning event was when both Rush Limbaugh and O'Reilly both played portions of my broadcasts on the air, and I don't know whether they gave me credit or not. I think they did. But the point is that we're forcing the mainstream to come to us. And the public is finding out the truth about what's going on out there, and they're demanding that things change. Right now we have in the House of Representatives a debate involving the changes in regulatory and finance subjects, and in that is included H.R. 1207, which is Ron Paul's bill to audit and investigate the Federal Reserve, a private corporation. And we get that passed and get it passed in the Senate. It'll be a tremendous victory for Ron and all of us who care about freedom. And I think that it could be a seminal event, a total turnaround for everybody, not only in America, but throughout the world, of exposing the terrible criminal activity of the Fed and the banks and the brokerage firms and the insurance companies, calling them for what they've done and stopping them from continuing to do it in the future. We just had a seminal event this past 2 weeks when the FSB, used to be known as the KGB when I spied on them, and they came and they hacked the computers at East Anglia University, ground zero for global warming, and exposed that global warming was an absolute scam. And what the Illuminati wanted to do and wants to do, and they're still having their conference there in Copenhagen. They want to turn everything into a world government. They want to take our sovereignty, and they want to be able to control everybody in the world. And the thing that they were going to base the future of their movement, so to speak, on is the taxing of carbon. Now, of course, the whole thing is a scam because there's no global warming. And this was exposed because Al Gore and Hendren, who is the science czar for the president, and Phil Jones, who ran CRU in East Anglia, and Michael Mock, these people were all lying about everything. They were destroying any opposition, getting people fired from their jobs for challenging this concept of global warming, which was just a vehicle to destroy the nations of the world, and at the same time impose taxation on everybody so they could control everybody. And this is what Copenhagen's about. This is what cap and trade is about. And I'm going to write a short piece for Saturday's issue about it because I've done so much radio work on it in the last 2 weeks. It's a wonder I can talk. And I got called last week by Fox asking me to go on. I couldn't because I had commitments to other broadcasts such as this one. And they were very surprised. And I said, I'm sorry, but my first allegiance is to the people who I've been on the air with. And if I get room for you, that's fine. If not, that's just the way it is. And so the summation here of what Drew is talking about is that we have engaged the enemy, and we are going to defeat them. And I can promise you that.
Amen.
This is a battle for human survival. These people are criminals. And my motto in my family is engage, attack, and conquer. And that's just what we're going to do.
That sounds something like a Marine Corps motto somewhere along the line. I've heard that somewhere.
No, it's my family.
Oh, I can believe that. It's something very similar to that is in the Marine Corps hall somewhere about engaging the enemy and conquering it and defeating them. But I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's one of those guys out there in the helicopter wing. I remember seeing something like that on the side of a helicopter, that we seek, we engage, we destroy, something like that.
Well, that's what it's all about when you have an enemy. And we got one in Congress, in the White House, on Wall Street, in banking, and we're not going to let them enslave our children and grandchildren. We're going to cut them off at the pass, and we're not taking any prisoners.
I heard that. Let's see. Blog Talk Radio is coming at me with if anybody in the chat room begins, they have a new harassing. If they come on in the chat room and start harassing anyone, they've got a new method in which they're blocked. And Mr. Chapman, if anybody calls into the show and gives us any static, they'll be blocked permanently. All we have to do is capture their phone number. They just letting you know that there's people that work in Blog Talk that listen to this show. they think you got good advice.
Well, I thank them, and just like when I was doing work in Intercept for the NSA and Army Security. The Russians would block out the signals, and what we do is go to the ends of the signals and work in and still intercept them. And it was funny, they had these big loud buzzes on, but we got around it.
Understood. The Gold Report the other day came out and made a comment that a lot had happened to influence gold prices. And I don't know if you get B Headline News or get the opportunity to read the online edition of B Headline News. Roy Carson published an article about the Russian government, not the Russian, well, I guess Russian government, but a Russian company from Russia was mining gold in Venezuela. And as you know, Venezuela has a lot of gold. And what I want to ask you is what is your feelings about this Russian company mining the gold, giving 50% of it to Chavez at the cost to produce it, and then taking the other 50% and putting it on the market? Do you think that's going to be an influence on the gold market?